Hey folks, and welcome to another episode of 8 News Real Talk. I'm your host, Tannock, Blair, and with me as always, my co-host, Julia Broberg.
Hello.
Hey, Julia.
Hi, Tannock.
Julia, today we have quite the double feature. The feel-good double feature of the year, maybe. Zombies and murder.
Yeah, woo woo. No, zombies, murder, and the job market.
That's right.
Ooh, what's scarier? Ooh, unemployment. Ooh.
But this was an awesome weekend at the movies. We actually ended up seeing both of these together this weekend. We'll start
In a mad
with the
sprint.
Yeah,
From theater
yeah, we did. That was
Tanny texts me, I've got a crazy strat. And I'm like, oh my God.
we made it.
We have very different movie watching.
Two different theaters, like 20-minute drive apart, and getting from the end of one movie to the start of the next in time.
Tannick's speed walking. He's like, trailers. We got 30 minutes of trailers. We'll be fine. We have 30 minutes of previews. I'm like, that's not enough time. But I will give Tannick his credit. We made both movies perfectly on time.
We did it.
We did it. Sorry.
Yeah, and so we'll do these in the order that we saw them in, I guess. The first film on this week's episode is 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. Even though the opening title card just says The Bone Temple, it feels very much like it's an episode to a series.
Yeah.
And it fits in that way because this is supposed to be the middle child of a sort of 28 Years Later trilogy, also part of the 28 Days Later franchise. The first film came out maybe like 7 or 8 months ago.
Yeah.
Wasn't even that long ago. And so this is picking up right where that left off. We really enjoyed that movie, reviewed it on the show. I think we both gave it 4 stars.
Yeah, I think so.
Directed by Danny Boyle, that one. And both of these, including an upcoming third one that has been announced, is being written by Alex Garland, who we've reviewed on the show as well for his last directorial effort, which was Warfare, that he did for A24 last year, but known for Ex Machina
Annihilation.
and Annihilation, a whole bunch of great movies. So we love the first one. Julia, what did you think? While we're in pre-spoiler talk, what did you think of The Bone Temple?
5-star. I loved everything about this movie. I just like the experience of a 28 Years Later film.
Yeah.
And I like that us watching these gave me the excuse to go back and watch all the other ones, even though they vary in quality. Mm-hmm. I think the OG, you can't beat. But this one was just really, I just like where they took it. I love Ray Fiennes being like a crazy dude that's also like the voice of reason.
Yeah.
Ray Fiennes just crushes.
The wise fool.
Yes.
I'll get into it a bit, but it's very Shakespearean, some of the ways that this plays out, with a performance at the end and a play within a play sort of thing.
100%. I hope they make a bajillion more of these. I hope they do a Muppet version. Like they're talking about with the Knives Out. I hope they do a 20 years later and all the zombies are like Muppets or something. Boyle and Garland can figure that out. That's not... but no, I just enjoyed it. I thought the visuals were really good. I liked all the new characters. I guess I can't. This is pre-spoiler. So what did you think?
I'm going to give it 4 stars. I had a great time with it. I agree. They can keep, as long as they're all this good, keep making them. I would watch one every year. This can be the new Marvel Cinematic Universe or something.
No, because then they'll ruin it.
We'll get 2 movies a year or something.
Robert Downey Jr. is like, he is the zombie. And he's like unmasked at like some con or something.
Yeah. But yeah, I think when it's coming from artists with such singular vision like Garland, like Nia DaCosta, who actually directs this entry, with Danny Boyle doing the first and presumably the third. I had a great time with this. It does feel a little bit like that awkward middle child story, but it's such a good story and so many good characters that you really can't complain either way. So, yeah, highly recommend. Should we jump into spoilers?
Yes, please.
All right. Why don't you tell us what this film is about?
There's a lot going on. The start, we mainly focus on what's going on with Ray Fiennes' character, Dr. Ian Kelson, who's a doctor, and he lives in the Bone Temple. And obviously he has developed a rapport with one of the alpha zombies, Samson. And so it just kind of follows. He will always sedate him with a combination of things, a cocktail of drugs, including morphine. And then he develops like a friendship. They just both get high together and like lay in the grass, look at the river, they dance a little bit. I love it. It's
so good.
It's him trying to find connection in a zombie wasteland, and he finds it with this humongous zombie, by the way. And it was just, I thought it felt like I don't know, it felt like a little sitcom, like they're dancing around, getting high, laying in the grass.
It's so sweet.
It's so sweet.
Mean, this is exactly what works so well with the first one too, where you're expecting a zombie movie to be so dire and depressing, and instead Garland and Boyle, and in this case DaCosta, just fill it with so much life and like, I don't know, there's beauty to it in so much of it, and in this case, like finding this friendship in the most unlikeliest of places is like one of the biggest joys of this film. Is it's just how Ray finds his character is so amazing that he can even make friends with
zombies.
Zombies.
It's easy to talk to him. This is the guy you want in the zombie apocalypse, the dude that just can find a way.
Yeah.
There still is the depressing part, though, because then we move on to the story of the Jimmies, the group of Jimmies, which is led by Jack O'Connell, Jimmy Crystal.
Yep.
And he just has a bunch of people that wear, like, Game of Thrones platinum blonde wigs that are kind of chopped up. Yeah. And they follow him around, and they commit acts of charity, which is torture of other people that they find throughout, other uninfected people that they find throughout the wasteland. They're Satanists.
Yeah, a violent satanic cult.
That's why I love you. Like, it's just like they have this fun, like they bring life to it. And I'm like, ooh, you're forgetting about the cult of Jimmies that just go around and. Can I talk about what they do?
Yeah, I think so.
They skin them alive.
Yeah, very grim.
Oh, but so they also pick up Spike from the previous film.
Yes.
The boy. And he becomes, of course, I just feel so bad for little Spike this whole time because he just looks so terrified in every conceivable frame. They don't really give him much to do.
No, he's very much a sort of tertiary character for this, or just a silent observer.
They're like, remember him?
POV character.
We're going to make his life even worse than it was in the last one.
Yeah, it feels like, and I'm trying to remember exactly how his arc played out in the first one, but he had, it was almost like a coming of age movie. I think Garland talked about how one of his inspirations for the first 28 Years Later movie from last year was Kes, this 1970s film about like a boy growing up in impoverished England. It felt very much like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so he's already gone through the majority of his character development as a coming of age story. So in this one, he doesn't have too much to do until the end. He makes a bit of an impact, but he's more just our POV character for the audience, which is not a bad thing because honestly, Jack O'Connell as Jimmy? He has enough charisma to fill up the screen and just carry every scene that he's in.
He levels it.
So it's so much fun watching him be the most evil, twisted character you've ever seen.
And I feel like this is a tough character to pull off.
Yeah.
And Jack O'Connell does a great job of making this guy believable. Like, he grew up in this zombie wasteland. He watched his dad who was a preacher, get murdered by zombies, seemingly looking like he was leading this group of zombies. And he believes that his father is Satan.
Yeah.
And Jack O'Connell plays it, I'm like, this guy's dad is Satan.
Yeah.
And then we get into, they meet up, they find Ray Fiennes' character.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I don't want the Satanist to find Dr. Kelsen. Like, leave him alone.
I know. But having said that, this is, when you have two such incredibly strong characters, you just can't wait for them to meet and see how they interact. And this pays off.
Yeah.
And just the conversation they have and like the way of speaking, they kind of get along in like a weird way, because how can you not get along with Dr. Kelsen?
Yeah. And also him just doing analysis on him while he's talking to him. Like you see it process in his mind as a doctor when he's like, well, the voice is telling me to do it, duh. Like the voice of my father, who is Satan. And you see Kelson's like, right.
Yeah.
Obviously. And the fact that he's so willing when he's like, so eventually his plan is, because Jimmy meets up with Ray Fiennes first and tells his group to hang back and be like, I'm going to talk to Satan. He convinces the other Jimmys that Ray Fiennes is Satan.
Yeah. Old Nick, they keep calling him. Yeah.
And so he goes and talks to him and is like, can you pretend to be Satan so that my group will continue to follow me blindly and do whatever I tell them to do?
Right. Because he's seeing a little bit of, amongst his ranks, a little bit of wrinkles to his leadership where one or two of the, including Spike, of his followers are sort of questioning how much, this guy is really the son of Satan, and
is Satan really telling him what to do?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, good for you guys, stand up.
Yeah,
question authority.
Exactly,
question the authority of a man that thinks Satan is talking to him.
Yeah,
and then we get a fantastic scene where Ray Fiennes puts his all into putting on a show as Satan.
Yeah,
and it's so good to an Iron Maiden soundtrack.
Yep, Number of the Beast.
And it was just, I was like hyped. I was like, this is what movies are all about.
Yeah.
This is what movies are all about.
Yeah,
Seeing that up on the big screen.
A heavy metal musical number in our 28 Years Later movie, but as soon as it came in, it made perfect sense.
Yeah.
And it was just a joy to witness. Ray Fiennes' performance in that scene and some of the effects they use and really, really terrific.
We also had these two dudes that were sitting behind us in our theater that were just kind of narrating everything that was happening. AK, the thing of like the older crowd will just say whatever's happening on the screen out loud at full volume, just in case nobody else is looking at the screen and nobody else is paying attention.
Yeah.
Because Ray Fiennes has a bunch of vinyls in his little like underground hole, and they would start playing Duran Duran, and the guys behind us were like, Duran Duran. we know. Yeah, we know. There's a scene where one of the Jimmies Spike's initiation into the Jimmies is to fight to the death.
Yeah.
And this super cocky guy's like, and then he stabs his thigh, and the guy behind us was like, femoral artery.
Yeah.
Femoral artery. I was like, okay.
Right. He was right.
He was right. He had a point. I was just like, why don't
we all were about to find out in 5 seconds after that guy said it. So
he was like, gonna bleed out. Gonna bleed out in 30 seconds. You'll be dead in a couple minutes. I was like, great. So it was nice to have that extra, information.
I love everything with as I said, it's sort of Shakespearean, right down to everyone gets stabbed and dies at the end, like a Shakespearean tragedy. But the other thing which you started the plot summary on with Samson, it feels more like because I don't know, it feels like a Mad Max movie anytime we're with the Jimmies and we're in this post-apocalyptic but not like a normal post-apocalypse where it's just like drab and depressing, like weird post-apocalypse.
Yeah, they're wearing velvet tracksuits and tiaras and platinum blonde. Where did he find all these platinum blonde wigs?
Yeah, like a little camp. It's camp post-apocalyptic, like Mad Max. And then, but the whole subplot with Samson feels like a high concept science fiction thing about getting to the essence of this is the first time in a while in these movies, I think maybe since 28 Weeks Later, that there's been any sort of development on what, and I think that got retconned anyway.
Oh, 100%.
On what the virus actually is and what its effects are and things. And so we come to learn that there is a psychosis element to it. We get teased it a little bit in this opening kill where Samson, the Alpha, and some other zombies pull someone's head, their spinal cord out of their body or whatever.
That's the Alpha's go-to move.
And we get a brief glimpse of Samson's perspective and see the horrifying face that he sees on this human person's what they look like.
Yeah.
And so Kelson gets to the bottom of it and starts to realize, okay, maybe with the correct concoction of drugs to sort of tranquilize or calm the the beast, and then also the psychosis element that can be treated. Like maybe we can get to some semblance of reality. It's not, these people aren't entirely so far gone, and that's an incredible sequence when Samson is like walking out into the wilderness to find himself again. Basically, like he goes to the train and he sort of has memories of like what it was like to ride on the train, and then there's just an insane fight scene where he just obliterates a whole bunch of other zombies.
Well, because the zombies can tell that he's not like them completely anymore, and so the zombies are like, wait a minute.
And he sort of exits the train baptized in blood, just completely drenched, while Number of the Beast is playing in the distance because it's Ralph Fiennes doing that performance. So much of this is just really, really excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, again, I'm like talking about the plot, and Ralph Fiennes like almost kind of finds the cure to this infection, which you're like, of course. And
he's a Mary Sue, really.
Yeah.
He's just like a too perfect of a character in every way.
Because I'm like, and usually that would maybe annoy me, like in a movie where I'm like, of course, then they're going to try to cure. But like when Ralph Fiennes does it, I'm like, that's awesome.
Exactly.
Give him the concoction of pills or whatever. Yeah, Samson's cured.
Absolutely.
I'm so on board.
Yeah.
Because it's Ralph Fiennes. I think if it was anybody else other than Ralph Fiennes, I would not be as on board. But because it's Ralph Fiennes covered in orange iodine.
Yeah. I'll say I think this is it feels more solid than the first 28 Years Later from last year, but it doesn't necessarily feel as like an immediate breath of fresh air the way that one did. Like what Boyle was doing direction-wise of that movie was quite weird. Like it was like, I think it was difficult for a lot of people to get past because there was so many weird shot choices, weird editing, using GoPro footage. Like he was going balls to the wall doing like everything he could. Whereas this feels like a real movie, like Nia DaCosta. You mentioned it's very beautifully, it looks beautiful, it's gorgeously shot and things. But that's one thing that I was sort of missing from the first one, was just like how bizarre and like different from any other movie I'd seen that the one from last year was. So, and that's pretty much the only thing I can say that's the reason why I'm not with you on a 5-star. I think if it had brought all of those elements together, and maybe a little bit more of like plot propulsion.
Sure, like a little more prog rock would have been really my preference.
That absolutely true as well. My favorite needle drop, besides the Number of the Beast, was the Radiohead drop when they're like getting stoned, looking up at the stars or whatever. That was like,
I was like, this is life, brother.
Yeah, this is just a beautiful, beautiful movie. So,
like, I want to get high with a zombie.
Yeah,
sue me, call me crazy. Call me crazy. I want to get high with Ralph Fiennes and a zombie.
I think we kind of did. That's the beauty of this movie. Like,
You're
as
right.
an audience, we got to enjoy that moment.
A single tear falls. I'm like, the first time I cry on Real Talk, I'm like, wow. You didn't notice I was sobbing next to you the whole time?
Yeah. And we have a very exciting sort of cliffhanger to this movie.
Oh, yeah.
In that some characters from 28 Days Later will likely be returning for the third and final entry of this trilogy.
Cillian Murphy! I heard his voice like off camera, and I was like, oh, they brought him back. They did it. He has a daughter, it looks like.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
It's really cool.
But we didn't see, oh my gosh, what's the girl from the Naomi Harris? From the very, 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 very first one?
Oh,
like
yeah,
his buddy?
I think so. I think you're right.
We didn't see her. I'm scared about that. Maybe they have her as a cured zombie somewhere in the house. Girl power.
We'll have to wait to find out. I think
It's a full hat.
this came so soon after that first one, but I think they were waiting to see how this one performed before they greenlit the third one, so we might have a little bit longer to wait this time around. But yeah, anticipation will grow. I can't wait. I really am looking forward to the third and final one. So
Me too.
yeah, we highly recommend 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with No Other Choice. Welcome back, folks, to A News Real Talk. We're talking No Other Choice, the new South Korean, I'm not even going to put a genre on this because a lot of South Korean cinema is just all genres at once.
Smorgasbord.
But, the new film from legendary auteur Park Chan-wook, this is No Other Choice. It took a little while to get to us in Richmond, but this has been, it technically came out in 2025 on the festival circuit and played in New York and LA. I think it's still eligible for awards like Oscars and things. So this was one of the ones for our top 10 list a couple weeks ago that we had not seen. I feel like we missed a lot of international cinema because there was also Surat and there's one more that I'm missing, but there was a lot. We only really, the only thing that made our list was Sentimental Value, which did get a pretty wide release. It's harder to find those here in Richmond.
Yeah.
So as soon as I saw that this was playing, I knew I was in, and you.
We had to execute the strat.
We had to execute the strat from Bone Temple to No Other Choice.
I was like, can I see No Other Choice too?
Yeah.
Can I? I would like to watch that one as well.
And I didn't realize until after we saw it. I think you said this is your first Park Chan-wook movie.
Yeah.
Most people probably know him from Old Boy from 2003 or 2004. He actually made a trilogy of sort of revenge-based movies, and Old Boy was the middle entry. And excellent movie. Very, very different from this. His style back then in the 2000s was very much a maximalist, sort of everything. You know, it's sort of like a South Korean Tarantino or something. There was something in the water in the 90s and 2000s where, you know, everyone was doing crazy stuff. And it's an excellent movie. But this is much more of a restrained, mature filmmaker, master of his craft sort of type of movie.
Yeah.
But to say anything more, I think I'll have to get into spoilers. So do you want to just tell us what you think pre-spoilers for No Other Choice?
I enjoyed it. It's very, very good. I've just struggled with, there was a lot going on.
Yes.
There was a lot going on.
Yeah.
And so I think I would need to see it again to really give like a rating with my full confidence behind it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there was
I feel the same.
Yeah. Because, and I feel terrible when we're doing a double feature and I'll be like, 28 years later, the Pone Temple 5-star. And then it's like this auteur film, and I'm like, 4. I feel like it makes me sound ignorant.
No,
and,
I don't think so.
You know, so I want to give this one a 4-star. But I think if I were to see it again, it would bump up if I had more time to sit with a lot of the elements. There's just so much going on, and it's all being done extremely well.
Yeah.
And very funny.
Yeah.
And very intense. Yeah, it's really, it was a shock to the senses.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, is what I'm trying to convey as I'm sitting here going, yeah.
No, I think that's a totally valid review, honestly. I'm going to go 5 stars. I think if I'd seen this before our top 10 movie list, I think it would have gone in there. I have seen, like I said, I've seen Old Boy. I've seen a couple of the other Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance and things from his 2000s output. I saw he sort of has evolved as a filmmaker, and I feel like in the 2010s he was making a lot of like psychosexual thrillers.
Yeah.
Like one that I saw was The Handmaiden. That was very, very good. And again, his style was much more restrained for that movie. This sort of like feels like he's maybe entering a new era, or he's finding a way to somehow fuse the two styles in a way. I felt that this was very, very reminiscent of Parasite from 2019 from Bong Joon-ho, another South Korean filmmaker. And whether it's, I don't think it's as simple as he saw that movie and was like, I can do my own version of that movie just as well. I think it's more so that, you know, it's probably both being from South Korea. These are probably cultural thinking points that are sort of at the forefront of what, you know, people in South Korea are concerned about at the moment.
Yeah.
And so both films just happen to be about unemployment, the squeeze of the economics of various different classes in South Korea. And I think this is an excellent movie. We'll get into the spoiler talk to break down exactly why, but there are a lot of themes and a lot of I feel like there could be an entire dissertation on the semiotics, like the symbology of the film alone. But let's get into spoilers. I'll take the weight off your shoulders here, and I'll give us the plot summary.
Thank you, because I would sit here and go, oh, so he works at the paper plant, but not in like, and then you'd have to cut in and be like, shh, it's okay.
Yeah. So it's technically an adaptation of a novel called The Axe by Donald Westlake, who is Donald Westlake. When I was talking to you about this, I thought this was based on some sort of like classic literature thing.
Dostoevsky.
I thought it was Dostoevsky, exactly, but it was not. Donald Westlake is more of a hard-boiled crime writer. He wrote the Parker series, a few other things. So thinking about it that way, I didn't realize that this is sort of like as a story originally is much more of a low art, what people call low art. I mean, I happen to love hard-boiled crime stories, but it is not classic literature, is what I was getting at. But you wouldn't know that by watching the way that Park Chan-wook handles the material, because he treats this like this is some sort of like fantastic, like page-turning literary masterpiece. The plot is the concept sounded Dostoevsky-ish, which is a man is pushed to the edge and has to make feels like he has to make a terrible decision to save his family, save his house, save his 2 dogs.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the film, he gets fired from his job at this paper factory. He's a fairly high up, an expert in his field at the paper factory, but he ends up getting laid off. Somewhere there's some sort of American corporation intervention that results in a number of people being fired, and he's one of them.
You see the American for like 10 seconds as they get into a car and are ushered away very quickly.
Yeah, and then he's expecting to find another job within 3 months, and then we time skip forward 13 months, and he still hasn't found a job, and they're running out of all the savings that they had built up, and they get pushed to the point that they have to sell their house and they have to give away their 2 dogs because they can't afford the 2 extra mouths to feed. It's very, very sad. It's doing a really good job at the beginning of putting all of these pressure points to where you can get on board with what you think is no other choice.
Yeah. But in classic form, as he goes on his journey to be like, I have to try to find a job, I have to do whatever, he's neglecting what really matters the most, which is his children and his wife and his 2 dogs.
Of course. And the choice in question is that he realizes that he can kill a higher up at one of these companies and take that person's position. And in order to ensure that he gets that position, he then has to take it a step further by finding all the other top candidates who might be better than him or more qualified, take them out as well. And you can see how the slippery slope begins.
That's what I tried to do to get your job, but you're just too quick. It's just too quick.
I dodged the flower pot. So that's the premise. That sounds very Dostoevsky-ish. That sounds like Crime and Punishment. But the way the film plays out and the twists and the turns and the subplots and tangents that we go on throughout.
And how inept he is at trying to complete what he's trying to do.
Exactly. He doesn't even kill the first person.
No.
In fact, the very first person that he tracks down to kill, who's supposed to be, someone he's worried is more qualified for the position than him, we find this character already an alcoholic drunk. We find that when he makes up a company for this guy to apply for so that he can get information on him, the guy tries to sober up and get his life together, but he ends up finding out that his wife is cheating on him. And
I was like, why are you preventing him from finding that out?
Yeah.
That gives beautiful motive for
to
set up for like a frame job or
and
for the
I think
wife
it's
to kill
because
him.
it's so early on. As you said, he's bad at this killing stuff at the beginning and taking other people out because he is ultimately a good person. By the time we get to the end of the movie, it's not so clear. It's sort of a Walter White Breaking Bad situation where there's not much left of him. But
also very similar. He's got such a cool wife. I don't understand why these guys don't appreciate how cool their wives are. She's fine with everything. She's fine with selling the house. She comes up with all the reasons of like how they can make this work. She gets a job. He didn't need to do any of this, Tannock. His wife was super cool and really pretty and really funny, and he doesn't deserve her.
You're getting to exactly one of the things that I love the most about this movie, because I think what this movie is about many things, but one thing in particular it's about is pride. These are men who take a lot of pride in their work. They're craftsmen. You hear them talk about paper like it is like an art form. They talk about like, he can see the quality and craftsmanship of various different papers that are done and things. And they take a lot of pride in it. But that pride becomes very, very sour and becomes from a virtue to a sin quickly when you're put in the economic pressures that they are. And they become sort of like pathetic man-children who, instead of being proud in a way that is, self-fulfilling, they're proud in a way that is jealous and like bitter, and they just become nastier and nastier. And a recurring theme as well is this theme of alcoholism. We don't even find out until halfway through the movie that our central protagonist, played by Lee Byung-hun, is an alcoholic. We don't even find that out until later, but we see it in other characters, like this first one that he tries to kill.
Also, it's insane. I mean, you can infer from how he reacts to alcohol in the first 30 minutes, 45 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
Drinking apple juice at a bar.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think it's all of that stuff that's really, really great. And in that first killing, it ends up being the wife who kills the husband. If he had never even gone into that man's house, that guy was going to drop out anyway because he'd fallen off the wagon and given up because his wife was cheating on him. Yeah. Everything that happens is entirely avoidable and unnecessary, which is the beautiful irony of a title like No Other Choice.
He has the most choices.
So many opportunities to get out while he can.
I would say he has the most choices I've ever seen of anybody ever.
It's brilliant. I also really, really love, I was talking about the symbology of the film and things. Speaking about like them being craftsmen and being proud, he not only is a craftsman of paper, a protagonist, he is also at home a gardener. Like he recognizes the beauty of growing something from the ground. I mean, the symbology of him holding up the flower pot as like this is the thing that he's going to drop to make his first kill that he doesn't end up doing. But he is a gardener who loves to foster and grow things. But ultimately, he is like the plants. He is grown by the company and built up and becomes a better and better expert at what he does. And then he is cut down, shredded up, chewed up, recycled, whatever. And that's why the film ends, on him getting everything he thinks he wants. Of course, we know like his wife and his son will never look at him the same way again. We have that incredible imagery of him being in a giant empty factory that is just run by AI robots.
That
he's celebrating. He thinks it's great, and we can see like it's not going to take very long for this to like be entirely soul crushing for him. Yeah. And then the very final shots are just of industry tearing up and tearing down trees and stripping them away to make paper. And no matter how many trees you cut down, you can always grow more. And it's a perfect sort of metaphor for the socioeconomic commentary that Park is trying to make with this film. It's really well done.
Agreed. I agree with that. I have nothing to add because you said everything that I agree with.
Yeah, I stole the line there.
That's okay. I also like they have a really interesting character within their young daughter who is like a cello like savant.
Yeah.
And I knew obviously that we would come to the point where finally she would play, and that would be a big component to background music for as he is coming to this.
Yeah.
But I just really liked that, and like you're saying, it's similar to the Parasite thing where they had the child that had the issues and was an art prodigy.
Yeah.
As a ruse.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I really liked that
Yeah.
component of that he is still. Also, they drop in the thing of the that he abused the son that she has from another.
Yeah.
They didn't ever really expand on that.
It is her son from another father, but he, assumed the role of father when this kid was 2 years old or something. And we don't see exactly how he treats him differently from another son, except for like when he gives him the cigarettes and things. Yeah. Like there's something where like he's trying to like appear like a loving parental figure, but like he maybe doesn't take the responsibility or ownership of a parent and some of the decisions he makes with his son.
Well, also you watch how he treats the daughter. He literally like will feed her and is like doing her nails while she's eating breakfast or blah, blah, blah. Like there's such a level of care taken for the daughter as,
Absolutely.
She's
and prodigy. I love that line when he goes to buy shoes for her and he's talking about how he can't afford to buy her like a $50,000 cello or whatever, but maybe he can buy her a new pair of shoes for her recital. There's so many good lines like that and good little dialogue exchanges that just expand upon the point and create this like, this beautiful, beautiful tapestry of ideas that feels so cohesive and like it all just works, even though we're on tangents the whole way. Like plot-wise, this thing is going everywhere and anywhere.
Also, I love they dropped in all these lines about the main guy looking like a model and being so handsome. And I was like, right. Without your glasses, you look like a model. I was like, does he? Or did they just put that one in there for his benefit? He's like, could we add a line here? I just think this flows well with the story.
I thought he was a good-looking dude.
Yeah,
maybe
he's
model.
a dude.
Maybe model is a stretch, but
no, he's a good-looking dude.
I really love this film. 5 stars.
4 star. But I feel bad about it. I feel guilty about the 4 star.
I think this is one that I look forward to like rewatching in a year or something and seeing how it has grown on me.
Much pun. Like a tree would in the forest of industry.
Excellent movie. I don't have anything else to say.
Me neither.
All right, folks, that does it for this week's episode of 8 News Real Talk. We appreciate you all tuning in, and we'll see you next time. See ya.